aham nirvikalpo niragararupo vibhutvacha sarvatra sarvendriyanam naja sangadam naiva muktirmameya chidanandarupam shivoham shivoham chidanandarupam shivoham shivoham chidanandarupam shivoham shivoham chidanandarupam.
And on behalf of Ananda worldwide, we'd like to thank the Indian Mission for this opportunity today to share Yogananda's teachings. Paramhansa Yogananda came to America in 1920. He was the author of Autobiography of a Yogi. Some of you may recognize this iconic photograph. How many here have read Autobiography of a Yogi? Yes, it's a spiritual classic. He came to teach self-realization. In his own words, the knowing in body, mind, and soul that we are one with the omnipresence of God. His message was very simple yet profound. By turning our attention inward through meditation and a specific meditative technique called Kriya Yoga, we can quiet our minds and open our hearts and have a direct experience of God, the cosmic consciousness which is all around us, contained in every living thing and beating at the very center of our own hearts. His message was universal. Meditation is for everyone, people of all religions, all faiths, and all cultural traditions. In fact, Yogananda said that meditation is in fact our most natural state. Yogananda's teachings were so compelling in the West because he didn't come to teach a new religion, but rather he came to speak of Sanatan Dharma, which is the nature of reality. It's the eternal truth. And currently in our culture and in the media, every day there's conversation and debate about what is true and what isn't. And Yogananda said that truths are not true unless we realize them within ourselves. He stressed intuitive perception, a deep knowing which wells up from within your own soul. He often said, don't believe a word I say, try the techniques and see for yourself. And that's really what self-realization means. It's realizing eternal truth through receptivity and soul intuition. By meditating, we can have a direct experience of the holy vibration which runs through us and connects us to every living thing. This was radical thinking at that time in America in 1920 when Yogananda first came to spread this message. But here we are today at the United Nations celebrating the International Day of Yoga, almost 100 years after Yogananda came to America. And as yoga practitioners, we truly understand and value direct experience. We all know what the yoga high is, and we know what it feels like to move prana through the body. That's what Kriya Yoga does. It's a scientific technique which teaches us to control prana, or the life force, deep in the astral spine, and to very gently guide that energy up to the brain. The astral spine is the center of our spiritual anatomy, and it's also the pathway to self-realization. So I'd like to pause here so that we can take a moment and locate and experience, visualize the astral spine in the body. So I invite you to please take one hand and bring it to your tailbone. You might have to scooch up in your chair a little bit. Good. Yogananda described the astral spine as a hollow tube about the same diameter as a garden hose. Take your other hand and bring it to the base of your skull, right where the skull and the neck meet. And there's a little indentation there. Just gently press in. I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. And now visualize the hollow tube starting at the base of the spine and traveling right in front of your physical spine, all the way up the torso to the back of the skull, just in front of your fingers. And now please take your hand off of your tailbone and bring it to the point between your eyebrows on the forehead. And visualize that hollow tube gently bending from behind the head through the brain to the point between the eyebrows at the forehead. You can remove your hands for a moment, please. So just behind that little indentation at the base of the skull is the medulla oblongata, which is at the base of the brain. And this is called the seat of ego. That's how Yogananda described it. And it's also called the negative pole of the Agya chakra, the sixth chakra. The spiritual eye is at the point between the eyebrows. That's the positive pole of the sixth chakra. And Yogananda explained that when we bring energy up the spine, it comes through the seat of ego, through the brain, to the point between the eyebrows. So you can think of it as positive and negative like a battery, not in a human subjective way, but just as a battery has a negative and a positive pole, we're drawing the energy up through the negative pole to the positive pole. This is also called the Christ center, the spiritual eye. Let's take a moment and just practice moving energy now through the spine. So again, I invite you to close your eyes for a moment. And with eyes closed, feel as though you're looking straight ahead towards the horizon. You can imagine where the earth and the sky meet, if that's helpful. And then gently lift your inner gaze just slightly above that point. As you exhale, release all the muscles of the forehead, soften the muscles of the face. Allow the shoulders to relax away from your ears. And notice if you're holding any tension in the belly or the abdomen, allow that to melt away as well. And keeping your inner gaze at the point between the brows, as you inhale, feel that the breath is originating just below your heart, and feel a sensation of upward flowing energy from the heart to the point between the eyebrows. And as you exhale, allow that energy to gently relax back down. So again, originate the breath from just below the heart center and see if you can tune into an upward flow of energy on the inhalation and then relaxing back down on the exhalation. And now start the breath just above the navel, so dropping it down a little bit deeper, inhaling to the point between the eyebrows and exhaling, relaxing back down. If it helps, you can visualize this energy as light in the hollow tube of the astral spine. And now begin your breath just behind the navel, inhaling light and energy through the heart, the throat, right to the point between the eyebrows and back down. And now allow the breath to begin at the very base of the spine, just in front of the tailbone. Inhale, drawing light and energy up the spine to the spiritual eye. Allow it to relax back down. And this time, as you draw the light and energy up to the point between the eyebrows, hold it there for a moment. And as you exhale, feel that energy coming through the spiritual eye, through the forehead, out into infinity. If you'd like, we'll do that one more time. Inhale, draw the energy all the way up to the spiritual eye, holding the breath as light, and then exhale, feel the sensation of outward flowing energy, joining yourself to infinity. And as you feel ready, you can open your eyes. So when we focus our attention at the spiritual eye and the breath, there's an automatic upward flow of energy and life force in the astral spine to the brain. It's interesting to note that scientists and many doctors now recommend people meditate to activate the prefrontal lobe of the brain, which brings feelings of relaxation, stress reduction, and it also calms the entire nervous system. Well, the ancient yogis already knew this. The spiritual eye is in the prefrontal lobe of the brain. So in a way, science is finally catching up to ancient yogic wisdom. Through meditation and Kriya Yoga, we raise the prana, the life force, from the base of the spine through the medulla, which is the seat of ego, to the spiritual eye, the point of cosmic consciousness. And this begins to open up this sacred energy center. When the spiritual eye opens, we experience enlightenment. You've heard samadhi, nirvana, different terms for that. But Yogananda said, until we open this sacred center, the crown chakra won't open. So it's really coming and bringing the energy up here. That's the basis of our practice. In the Gospel of St. Matthew, Jesus said, "When thine eye be single, the whole body will be filled with light." And he was talking about the spiritual eye. That's what Christ was talking about. This is also called the Christ Center. Each Kriya breath acts as a form of surrender, an offering of the individual small I, ego consciousness, to spirit, cosmic consciousness. As prana moves through the astral spine and the medulla, the ego, to the spiritual I, the ego begins to relax its grip on us, and we start to transcend ego consciousness. Through daily practice, this becomes a form of purification, and we begin to experience ourselves as more than this physical body and the set of details we use to describe ourselves. Through expanded awareness, we tune into who we truly are, which is pure consciousness, ageless and deathless, rays of one eternal light. The purpose of yoga is to bring our consciousness inward and guide our energy upward to experience union with God. Through meditation and Kriya Yoga, we're able to reverse the normal outward flow of energy that happens naturally as we experience the material world through the five senses: seeing, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. If we become overly seduced or enslaved by the senses, a downward flowing energy starts to take root, and it can make us feel lethargic, discouraged, unmotivated, depressed. And it can also lead to negative habits, tendencies, and various addictions. Downward flowing energy pulls us away from God. It pulls us away from the spiritual eye, and it dulls the life force in the body. Kriya Yoga is the antidote to downward flowing energy in the body. When we begin to bring the energy up through the astral spine through a daily meditation and Kriya practice, we cultivate expanded awareness, intuition, inner peace, joy, higher states of consciousness, and over time, negative habits and tendencies will naturally fall away. But on the most basic level, our daily meditation practice makes us less reactive and more responsive to the world around us. And in the rapidly changing world we live in, that's more important now than ever. Yogananda initiated Mahatma Gandhi in the Kriya Yoga technique, which Gandhi then practiced for the remainder of his life. As Gandhi famously said, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." That's what Kriya Yoga does. It changes us from the inside out, one breath at a time. It meets us exactly where we are, and it coaxes us to higher ground. We begin to cultivate equanimity, inner peace, joy, compassion, and love for ourselves and each other. These divine qualities are vibrational, and they start to radiate out from us to our families, our co-workers, and our communities. As divine light shines through us, we become beacons of that light, strong in our center, living in peace and harmony with the world around us. Through our daily meditation and Kriya Yoga practice, we become the change we wish to see. I'd like to end by having us recite Yogananda's Peace and Harmony prayer. So I'd ask you to please close your eyes again and gently bring your awareness back to the point between the eyebrows. And just take a moment to focus on your natural rhythm of inhalation and exhalation. And now please visualize the entire planet Earth surrounded in the light of peace and harmony, a benevolent light surrounding the entire planet. And imagine that light reaching out, touching every country and every nation on earth. See that light touching all those people seeking refuge in the world and all those areas affected by war and violence. See that light elevating human consciousness worldwide. And together, in the form of a holy mantra, we'll repeat 10 times, "Lord, fill this world with peace and harmony," and then 3 times for ourselves, "Lord, fill me with peace and harmony, peace and harmony." Please join me. Lord, fill this world with peace and harmony, peace and harmony. Lord, fill this world with peace and harmony, peace and harmony. Lord, fill this world with peace and harmony, peace and harmony. Lord, fill this world with peace and harmony, peace and harmony. Lord, fill this world with peace and harmony, peace and harmony. Lord, fill this world with peace and harmony, peace and harmony. Lord, fill this world with peace and harmony, peace and harmony. Lord, fill this world with peace and harmony, peace and harmony. Lord, fill this world with peace and harmony, peace and harmony. Lord, fill this world with peace and harmony, peace and harmony. And for ourselves, Lord, fill me with peace and harmony, peace and harmony. Lord, fill me with peace and harmony, peace and harmony. Lord, fill me with peace and harmony, peace and harmony. Please rub the hands together briskly. Yogananda said the instrument is blessed by what flows through it. Face your palms out and we'll chant the sacred sound of Om 3 times. Om. Om. Turn your hands to face the person on either side of you. Please join me. May you be filled with peace and harmony, peace and harmony. May you be filled with peace and harmony, peace and harmony. May you be filled with peace and harmony, peace and harmony. Om Shanti Shanti. Thank you. For more information on Ananda, please visit ananda.org. And we have some representatives here today who can hand out information on our programs. Thank you. The world we live in right now is very chaotic. We all know that. And once we find that stillness within ourselves, it spreads out to our community. And that is another way to help each other, to just find stillness within ourselves. As a culture, I think we underestimate the power of listening, not only listening to each other and respecting each other's opinions, but listening to the voice within ourselves. And that's what meditation does. It helps quiet the mind and it cultivates that inner knowing, that intuitive perception of what's right and what's wrong. I'll just jump right in because Yogananda said, be a smile millionaire. And what he meant by that was to make eye contact and smile at each other, because we are all part of the same energy. We are deeply connected. And as soon as you extend that smile or conversation with someone, you start to break down the barriers that separate us.